Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabe. I welcome you to Epithelia. What is the function of the skin in humans? The skin is the external covering of the body. In a human, its main functions are protection, perception of information from the environment, control of the body temperature, and secretion of substances. What are the tissues that form the skin in the vertebrates? The skin of vertebrate is made up of the epidermis, an external layer of epithelial tissue, and dermis, a layer of connective tissues, and the epidermis. One can aside also the hypodermis, a layer of adipose tissue, under the dermis. Skin annexes may exist in some phyla and classes like hair, secretory glands, and sebaceous glands. Beside the skin, what are the other coverings of the body? Beside the skin, other covering tissue are made of epithelia over other tissue layers. They are the tissue that cover the internal surface of whole organs, like the organs of the digestive tubes, the airways, the renal tubes, the ureter, the bladder, urethra, and blood vessels. The glands and serous membrane are made up of epithelial tissues too. What are some functions of the epithelium? The epithelial tissues can perform covering, impermeability, and protection against the environment. For example, the skin reabsorption, as in the guts and renal tubules. Gas exchange, for example, amphibian skin. Thermoregulation, like sweating. Secretion of substances, as in the epithelium of glands. Some animals, the skin also has an important function of camouflage and mimicry. What is the typical feature of epithelia? How different is it from the connective tissues? The typical feature of the epithelia is the absence or almost the absence of space between cells. Epithelial cells are compactly positioned side by side with the help of specialized structures for cell adhesion like desmosomes and interdigitations. The future relates to the fact that these tissues are generally exposed to an exterior surrounding, so they need more resistance and impermeability against the entrance of strange materials into the body. The connective tissue present opposite features due to the filling function. It has much interstitial material, what we call the matrix, and relatively large space between the cells. What are the specialized structure that help the adhesion between cells? Structure responsible for the union of epithelial cells are called cell junctions. The main cell junction are interdigitations, desmosomes, zonular address junction, tight junction, zonular accrudens, and gap junctions. Is epithelium vascularized? How do nutrients or oxygen reach the epithelium? Why is this feature important evolutionary acquisition? Epithelia are not vascularized, that is, capillaries do not directly reach their cells. The epithelial exchange substances by diffusion with the connective tissue situated under it. Since epithelial are not vascularized, meaning skin injuries and scratches that happen all the time do not trigger bleedings and do not expose blood to contamination from the external agents. This is an important protective strategy discovered by evolution. How are the epithelial tissue classified? Epithelial tissue are classified according to the shape of the cells that form it. Epithelial cells may be cuboidal, columnar, or squamous, and according to the number of layers in which those cells are placed in the tissue, into simple or stratified. The main types of epithelial tissue are simple cuboidal, simple columnar, and simple squamous. Stratified squamous and pseudostratified columnar, resembling more than one layer but actually have only one. There are also stratified cuboidal and stratified columnar epithelial, but rare. How different is simple cuboidal epithelium from columnar epithelium? Where can these epithelia be found in the body? The simple cuboid epithelia is made of a single layer of cuboidal epithelial cell. Simple columnar epithelia is made of a single layer of prismatic cells. Simple cuboidal epithelia can be found, for example, in the renal tubules, in the walls of the thyroid follicles. The simple columnar is an epithelium that covers the interior of the intestine, stomach, and the gallbladder. How different is the simple squamous epithelium from stratified squamous epithelium? Where are these epithelia found in the human body? Simple squamous epithelium is made of a single layer of flat squamous cells. Stratified squamous epithelium is made up of the same type of flat cells placed in several superimposed layers. The simple squamous epithelium is found in the pulmonary alveoli. Stratified squamous epithelium is found in moist mucosae, like the mucosae of the mouth, esophagus, and vagina, and it is the epithelium of the skin. What is the function of keratin in the epidermis? Epidermis is the outer layer of the skin made of epithelial tissue. The epidermis, there are keratin-secreting cells, keratinocytes. Keratin is insoluble protein that impregnates the surface of the skin, providing protection and impermeability. In mammal, keratin also forms the hairs. Keratinized cells of the skin surface form the cornea layer. These cells die and are continuously replaced by others. How different is the fish epidermis from amphibian epidermis? The fish epidermis is very thin and contains mucus-secreting cells. Fish skin does not present keratin. Mucus has a protective function, and it also helps the sliding of the animal underwater. Fish scale originate from the dermis and not from the epidermis. In amphibian, there is already slight keratinization of the skin, probably an additional adaptation to the terrestrial environment. Amphibians have smooth and wet epidermis without scales. These features facilitate their cutaneous respiration. Which are the glands present in the epidermis of the mammals, birds, and reptiles? The epidermis of bird and reptile, there are practically no glands. In mammal, there are sweat glands and sebaceous glands. What is melanocytes? Melanocytes are epithelial cells of the skin specialized in secretion of melanin. Melanin is a pigment that, beside coloring the skin, eyelash of the eye, and the hair, also works as to filter against ultraviolet radiation of the sun, thus protecting the body against harmful effects of this radiation, mainly burns and carcinogenic mutations. Melanocytes are the cells affected with one of the more deadly skin cancers, melanoma. Thank you very much for participating in Epithelia. Please do like, share, and subscribe.